This is a WJZ special report. We continue to follow breaking news. A Baltimore City police detective shot in West Baltimore.
And WJZ is live with a team of reporters covering the shooting. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren's live with the latest on the investigation. Avajoy Burnett is live at Shock Trauma with what we're learning about the detective rush there. But first, George Solis live at the scene of the shooting with more on the massive response by police from across our city. George?
Yeah, massive response to say the least. We were moved back from the scene at the start of the 6:30 hour just because of, we assume, the search for a gunman in the area. But again, just to recap everything that unfolded, this all started around 4:30 this afternoon when the reports of a shooting in West Baltimore came in. Then it became pretty evident that this was an officer. Later confirmed that a detective in West Baltimore here was shot, and the scene has been fluid ever since. Again, you're seeing video of just how active the police presence has been out here. And I do want to get to a tweet that was put out by Baltimore City Police a little while ago, again confirming that an officer was shot. Their tweet saying that, again, one of our officers was shot this evening. Please say an extra prayer for the officer and the officer's family. And since we have been here on the ground, we have seen a number of agencies, including federal agencies, come into the scene. We actually not long ago saw Howard County and Baltimore County here arrive on the scene. Tactical gear and vehicles also going deeper into the scene here where police have gathered. We have been able to get a better look at just the amount of police and other law enforcement officials that have congregated on the scene deep down in on Fremont Avenue here. Again, just a massive investigation unfolding underway, including the police chopper, which has been circling since this whole thing unfolded, again around 4:30 in the 900 block of Bennett Place. And this scene does not seem like it will let up anytime soon. That is the very latest here on the ground. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, George. And now we're going to go to Avajoy Burnett. She is live at Shock Trauma with what we know about that injured police detective. Avajoy?
Denise, since the last time we spoke, we have a development for you. About maybe 30 minutes ago or so, we saw a caravan of police officers pull up here at Shock Trauma, and then a lady stepped out. They escorted that person in. We do not know who that is, but it's possibly a relative of the officer who was shot. We told you all earlier today that the mayor is presumed to be here. She went inside Shock Trauma along with the police commissioner. We have not seen them come out. We have multiple cameras here on the scene, and we haven't seen them exit the building from either vantage point. So we believe they are still inside Shock Trauma. With regards to the officer who was shot, within the last hour, Baltimore police confirmed that one of their officers was shot, but we do not know any additional details at this time. We do not know their condition or their gender or the circumstances behind that shooting. Still quite a bit of police presence here. The Fraternal Order of Police, we saw them pull up maybe about 90 minutes ago or so. We believe that vehicle is still here. So I think it's pretty safe to say that many of the officials are still inside the building going through details on exactly what happened. In the tweet that Baltimore City Police sent out, they promised that they would keep us posted once we get additional details, especially about the condition of that victim. We will let you know. Live at Shock Trauma, Avajoy Burnett, WJZ.
Avajoy, thank you. Let's turn now to Mike Helgren live at the scene of the shooting in West Baltimore for more on the neighborhood where this all happened. Mike?
Mary, Bennett and Fremont is a notorious corner. 3 people were murdered there about a year ago. 2 teenagers were murdered there over the summer. Police have conducted gang raids. They've also amped up their presence in recent months. It is an area that is well known to law enforcement. The area of Harlem Park where the city homicide detective was shot is notoriously violent, the scene of dozens of murders over the past decade. It's where 2 teenagers were killed over the summer, including 15-year-old Jeffrey Quick, whose friend asked WJZ to conceal her face.
That hurt. Like, that hurt. And I cried nothing yesterday when it hurt. That's like my brother.
Quick was murder number 227 in the city. At more than 300 homicides now, Baltimore has outpaced much larger cities like New York. And some in Quick's troubled block fear things will never change.
I just want closure for me, for my brother, because that was his best friend.
Now, that young woman we talked to back in August said her own father was murdered on that corner several years prior to this, and she said she had to move out of the area because it was so frighteningly dangerous. Reporting live, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. And now Captain Jeff Long, he's in Chopper 13. He has been over the large crime scene in West Baltimore through the afternoon. It's about a 6-block area. Captain Jeff, hard to believe they are still searching, correct?
Oh, they are definitely searching. In fact, that little black vehicle you see moving through there, that's an armored vehicle that just backed down Bennett Place over to Fremont. They're focusing their attention down on this end of Bennett Place right now. This is at Schroeder, and there's another armored vehicle there. There's actually a couple of them now. That's new since we got back on the scene here. Now, the Foxtrot helicopter's been flying over. They've been flying over since about 4:30. They actually did a shift change and brought in a second crew. When that second crew came in, they immediately put light exactly where they were expected to put the light, so they obviously knew the scene before they even left the airport. And you can see all the flashlights in the back alley there. This is active. They are definitely looking for somebody, and they're working behind Bennett Place, between Bennett Place and Franklin. That's the focus of their attention right now. You can see that this is definitely a tense situation right now, very dangerous situation for the police officers on the ground and civilians that may be on the ground. And as you heard, a lot of the reporters were told to move away from this road because this is pretty much where this all started, and hopefully this is where it all ends. We're just keeping an eye on this, and we're going to stay with you until 8 o'clock. Reporting live from Chopper 13, I'm Captain Jeff Long.
Captain Jeff, thank you. Let's go to a ground view of what we just saw. Devin Bartolotta is live on the scene with more on the shooting and what she's been seeing for several hours. Devin?
That's right, Mary. We have been watching from the ground for about 2.5 hours now as police have searched the 900 block of Bennett Place. That is where this crime happened, and that is where WJZ was stationed earlier. We did see an armored car going down that street. We also saw several officers with their guns drawn, waiting to move in on that area. Another officer, clearly emotional and crying, was sitting in a police car not far from that scene. Now, we talked to neighbors here who have not been able to get home for more than 2 hours now. Officers tell them that it is just too dangerous to allow them back onto the block.
It's scary because these are people that we actually look up to protect us from dangerous people. And to hear that they're in harm's way is automatic shock to me.
There is no word on when these people might be allowed back into their homes. Again, this heavy police presence continues here in West Baltimore. I'm Devin Bartolotta reporting live for WJZ. Now back to you.
All right, thank you, Devin. And now we're going to go to Rick Ritter. He is live at the University of Maryland Midtown campus, where we have learned that someone walked in with a gunshot wound earlier tonight and police responded there. What have you learned, Rick?
Well, Denise, first off, the Midtown campus is about a mile away from where the city homicide detective was shot. We are told shortly after the incident, a man walked into this hospital with a gunshot wound, and that is when the police swarmed this area. Detectives, they went inside the hospital, wanted to check on him and find out whether or not he was a potential suspect or if he was related to the shooting in any way. Now you're taking a look at some video. We were one of the only news stations here about 30 minutes or so ago. Certainly very unusual. Detectives and officers escorting a man out of the hospital who was on a stretcher, putting him into an ambulance. Again, very unusual, but a huge police presence. No word if that man is a potential suspect in this shooting or if he was related in any way, but a huge police presence who escorted him away. Again, at this hour, we are still trying to figure out whether or not he is related to this shooting. Things have calmed down quite a bit out here, but still a few detectives are certainly roaming the area and keeping a close eye, if you will. I'm Rick Ritter reporting for WJZ. Now back to you.
Rick, thank you. We have not had an official word from police yet. We're still waiting on that, except for a tweet they sent out not long ago. WJZ now has the latest on city officer shot in West Baltimore. A detective was shot around 4:30 this afternoon and taken to shock trauma. We do not have word yet on his condition. Police are still searching for the shooter.
Mayor Catherine Pugh and the Police Commissioner Kevin Davis, they are at shock trauma right now with, we assume, the officer's family. We invite you to stay with WJZ. We continue to bring you the latest information on this police detective shot in West Baltimore. And you can also find updates on our website, WJZ.com.
And we will be right back with much more on the shooting of this police detective. Please stay with us.